working with me. Good evening, everyone. It is December 18, 2017. I call to order the regular meeting of the Perry Municipal Authority. Roll call, please.
Colern.
Here.
Gilbreth. Here. Franklin.
Here.
Marshall. Ahern.
Here.
Seabolt. Here. Morrell. Stroller.
Here.
Johnson.
Here. I do declare a quorum. Bill, would you give us our invocation?
You bet. Thank you, Courtney. Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you this time to tell you thank you. Thank you for the season that we're in. Thank you for the time that we celebrate the coming of your Son, the one that you sent to be our Savior. And we thank you for the sacrifice that you made. Heavenly Father, I just ask that you be with us this evening, that you clear our minds and our thoughts, and let us be able to think diligently about the betterment of our town tonight. And let us just remember that anything that we do, that we want it to glorify you. I pray this in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Bill. First item is the consent agenda. It has one item. Receive and approve the minutes of the December 4th PMA meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Colern.
Yes.
Gilbreth. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 4, comments from those assembled. Anyone wish to make comments about the authority this evening? Comments? Seeing none. Item 5, proclamations, commendations, reports, and inquiries by the governing body. Staff? Council? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. Any new business? Item 7.
Motion adjourned.
Second. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Colern.
Yes.
Gilbreth. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Thank you. That took 2 minutes. I now call to order the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Perry, December 18, 2017. Roll call, please.
Colern.
Here.
Gilbreth. Here. Franklin.
Here.
Marshall. Ahern.
Here.
Seabolt. Here. Morrell. Stroller.
Here.
Johnson.
Here. Item 1 is the consent agenda, items A through F. Do I have a motion to approve those as presented, or do you want to discuss some items?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call, Lisa.
Colern.
Yes.
Gilbreth. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. On item 4, comments from those assembled, we have a guest this evening from Main Street Director, brought with her our Main Street consultant, Ron Drake, and I asked him to address us for a few minutes.
How long do I have? 2.
I don't know if he said 2 or a few.
37 minutes? Councilman, councilwomen, thank you. City staff, city manager, thank you for letting me come here for tonight. As I was in town for some other meetings, and Kayla had the great idea of having me come and try to give a quick kind of update of what I've been up to the past 2.5 months. My contract with Main Street started October 1, so I've been here almost exactly a month and a half. Or I'm sorry, 2.5 months. I'm a consultant. I can't count. So I've just got 5 things to update you on, and I also passed out a set of plans that I got the permission from the building owner, Michelle Taylor, to kind of show you where we are on the progress of her her building. So I'll get to that. So I think one of the first things I did when I arrived in town is I worked to rebuild the Main Street organization. It was a difficult time. We did have to go through and kind of clean up, I shouldn't say clean up, but more of maybe clean up the bylaws and some of these things, and say we're going to abide by the bylaws if we're going to be a state recognized Main Street. And so therefore I've received some new board members and that sort of thing, and so we have a strong new board with strong new leadership. We are still working on who the new Main Street president and vice president and secretary is. We do have a treasurer, and I think we'll have that worked out next week. We also did a board training with the state. We're getting the state of Main Street organization heavily involved in this process. So we had a really well attended Main Street training with some others, including city manager and his wife and Mr. Mayor and others that were wanted to be involved in Main Street. There was over 20 people that came to this Main Street board training. which shows kind of an excitement of people you know, pleased with the direction the organization is going. We are undergoing the National Main Street Refresh approach. That's a little complicated, won't get big into that, but that's just basically a whole new way that the main streets across America are looking at the organization. And the Perry Project gave its first grant of $5,000 to Jennifer Rojas at Simply Home. Really proud about that. We're still working through how that all works, the Perry Project along with Main Street, but we're all working together and realizing that we're in a rebuilding phase. We have our first project underway, and that's what we've passed around right now. The Local Kitchen and Drinks. It's going to be a boutique shop when you walk in, and then you'll see the bar and this really cool mezzanine up above. You can kind of tell by the pictures that are right there. You'll walk into a boutique, and then you'll see a staircase going up to a mezzanine, which is an upper level area above the bar, and then kind of splits the restaurant as you go into the back. It'll be really fun, kind of a cool place. I really think it's, the term I'm using, it's going to blow people's minds. I think they're going to be surprised that we're going to build something this cool in downtown Perry. And then on the second floor, we're doing a loft project. There's 2 lofts up there. And we're also, my wife and I are helping Michelle with applying for historic rehabilitation tax credits. So every dollar she spends, she will get 40 cents back, hopefully, if everything is approved with state and federal tax credits. It's a big deal, and my goal already is I want the National Park Service in Washington, D.C. to be, you know, contacting you guys pretty soon saying, hey, what's going on in Perry? We got 3 or 4 tax credit projects going on down there. So right now we got 1. I think we'll get some more. And part of that is because we've shown numerous buildings to several people. You guys will see a lot of times Kayla walking with me. I'm only here for a limited time. I'm trying to show her and teach her as much as I can for when I'm gone, so she can continue to proceed with marketing things. We have a couple of guys that are very serious about putting in a wine bar and a restaurant. They're pretty close to making an offer on a building, so we're working with them pretty closely. I got another very progressive, that's how I describe, young couple that are successful in career and are ready to take another next step and invest in downtown Perry. And so they're looking at doing something. I don't want to say too much because we're still in these kind of conversational things. And then I also have some things that I just can't tell you that are really exciting, that are looking at some entities and people that are looking at some other projects and buildings, and we're at such a early stage we don't want to mess with you know, any offers or anything. So we're showing buildings all the time, and we're getting a lot of great involvement. So part of what I am as a consultant is I'm probably my #1 skill is I'm a connector. I make connections. You know, for example, I just try to make a connection with Chief Thomas there and another restaurateur on selling a refrigerator. Or I just made a connection with one of the local banks. First Bank had a bunch of restaurant equipment that was for sale, and I just got it kind of sold on Friday to one of these potential people looking at restaurants. And so, you know, part of that is I'm also trying to work to strengthen the relationship with Main Street and the city, and I'd like to bring in the chamber here at some point, and 3 of us kind of really try to create this this unity that when other people and outsiders come to Perry, or they reached out to Perry, we're trying to say recruit people, recruit restaurants. I want there to be a really strong base when they know that when they're talking with the city and they're talking with Main Street and they're talking with the chamber, they're kind of getting the same message. So I'm kind of want to start working towards that. I'm looking forward to a meeting we're actually going to have tomorrow to talk about building permits and you know exactly what does it take. There's a lot of myths out there, a lot of concerns with people on what's it like to do business in Perry and pull building permits and that sort of thing in Perry. And we're going to try to really work on that and strengthen that. Let's see. I spoke with the leadership of Noble County. I've kind of attended a couple of those. Again, just try to keep this message out there. I'm doing a lot of, doing social media, Facebook Lives, that sort of thing, where our Facebook Lives have already reached into the tens of thousands of views for my Perry Live. So that's a pretty big deal. A lot of people are watching. I think the last one we did was somewhere around 6,700 views on a building we walked through in Perry. So that means people outside of Perry and whatever are watching. But we can kind of check that, and we're getting a lot of local views. So a lot of people in Perry are excited about this. And then, you know, even doing things, it's Kayla's great idea to have me escort Representative John Pfeiffer in the Christmas parade. I got an hour to listen to his concerns about Perry and his excitements about Perry, and actually kind of even calm some of his concerns about maybe with Ditch Witch and leadership and that thing. They're not leaving. Ditch Witch isn't leaving, right? So, so getting these opportunities to just meet with people and spread the message. Okay, so the last, I'm going through this really fast for you guys. You can ask me any questions if you like, but we have started a Perry Live TV show with Penn Network. Perry Live with Ron Drake is what we're calling it right now. My first guest host was Mayor Johnson. He did a fantastic job. And we're just kind of using Penn as an avenue to spread a positive message, to spread a truthful message of the things. Okay. The things that we really do have going on. I'm being completely transparent with the cameras right now. We have a lot of great projects happening, and so there's momentum. I think there's maybe the tide is turning in Perry. Maybe there's a lot of people that feel like now's the time. So we're gonna showcase that every week, about 30 minutes. We're doing another one tomorrow. So thank you for allowing Tyson to have some free time to do this. I think it'll be beneficial to your community. This week, tomorrow, I'm interviewing Brett Nation, local pastor here in the church and was a former councilman, to talk about, you know, just how community can get involved. And then we're kind of just, we've called it Perry Live because hopefully we can build up something that maybe I can pass the mic, so to speak, when my time is done here, and maybe the show can continue to spread the positive message of what's happening in Perry. So, I don't know how long that was, but
Thank you.
if anybody has any questions, I've got them. If not, you guys know how to find me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron. Next item will be 5, proclamations, commendation, reports, and inquiries by the Evan body. Seeing none, we'll have our city manager's report. Now,
Thank you, Your Honor. I wanted to start with one thing that's not in the city manager comments and project update report. I had a talk with Stephen Frosch today from Millburger Brawley. If you recall, some time back, probably been close to 4 months now, council approved a feasibility study for the Fur Overpass. So we hadn't heard anything, so I asked him just towards the end of last week, what was the status of that? He said that the survey work has been done. They did that considerably a while back. Secondly, they're working on the report. Thirdly, they have 3 offices, and all 3 offices got hit with a ransomware. And that's where a third party comes in and basically captures your files. So they've been, over the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks, trying to put all their files back together. So they're just about done. And then they'll be working on the design estimate. So that's where we are on that. Mayor and I were looking at each other the other day and said, we haven't heard anything, so thought I'd just bring you up to date on that. Phase 2 of the taxiway project is complete, passed inspection by the project engineer and city staff, who went out last Thursday, sprayed some water on the runway, make certain that we could see if there's any puddles or anything. We did see a few puddles. Within 24 hours they were gone. So that's within the FFA regulations, so we're ready to move on with that. So I know that Airport Manager John Anderson is excited to have all the construction folks gone and all the warning devices he had to put out there. We had a couple of folks take off, and their thrust just took all the devices that they spent like the last 2 hours out there, so they had to go back and put it again. Anyway, he's happy that's all done. We're proud to announce that Pete Hoffman is the 2017 Kyle King Firefighter of the Year. We really want to congratulate him on that. The big thing at this time of year, just want to let all of you know that Santa will be here at the Perry Library this Thursday at 10 o'clock. Santa will be here. Lastly, the street department recently completed the formidable task of winterizing all the rooms at the former Regency Inn want to thank Sam Harmon and his staff, and also Vernon Robbins and the water folks for getting all 34, 36 rooms ready to go. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Before we move to item 7, I want to introduce, I think probably the future head of Meacham Accounting, that is Connor Meacham. She's a guest this evening. Glad to have you. Russ, would you like to start now?
Sure. I'll take a matter of fact, I'll just turn it over to her, let her go ahead and run the show now. She runs everything else in my life, so, what's the difference as far as that? So, no, Connor had just finished finals last week and was looking for something to do the next couple of days, and I said, guess what? You get to go with your daddy because we don't spend enough time together anymore. I think she really wanted to go back to school, but oh well. She came to Perry today to see what goes on day in and day out at the city of Perry.
And you brought her here early. She's
And
been here like all day.
She has been here all day, yes. Yeah, she got up early this morning. She said, I wouldn't get up this early for class in the morning, Dad. Yeah, welcome to the real world. That's what we do. So, no, Connor's here just to say hello again. It's probably been 4 or 5 years since she was up here last. It's been a while, so anyhow. Guys, I don't have a whole lot of excitement, and in the excitement that I do have, I don't have necessarily good news related to our finances. I guess I can give it to them. There is good news. We're on budget for what we expected. But as in everything, I always expect us to be better than what we did budget-wise, and better than what we had. Really, from just what you're going to look at in the financials tonight, you're not going to hear, or you're not going to see what I'm about to tell you. But our sales tax, we had talked about being about 20% down in our loss. And December deposit came in last week, and we are right at that 20% down. So, 200 or right at a little $20,000 down from last year same period, which is our $240,000. Right in line kind of with what we had talked about, what we had budgeted, and what we had planned for. Now, that hope was still going to be there, that we were going to be in better than that maybe some of that lost revenues were going to be picked up by other local businesses. I can't exactly say that that's happened. Mind you, we're not looking at any individual businesses, we're just looking at total sales tax. But with things going on in other communities, even around here, and some of the other sales taxes being up for this time, we would have thought the economic impact would be about the same in our region, and we did not see that this month. This is not going to be necessarily the lowest point that we have with the Brahms remodel and shutdown. We will really see that in full force starting next month, and then even really what I expect to be our low part will be in February, whenever we see what December sales tax collections were for Christmas. That to me, that's kind of going to be the main gauge of where we are. And so, while not bad, if you look at our sales tax revenues, we're actually up compared to where we would expect to be budget-wise this month. Should be 42-43%. Our sales tax is setting higher than that, but that's just an anomaly. That's not really where my concern is, and that's not why I don't really want to necessarily talk about those numbers. I want you guys to know more this other side. We do have some good news. Our hotel motel taxes exceeded $20,000 for the month, which is back up there as far as occupancy goes. So we like to see that number, and we like those dollars to continue. We do have, November was kind of a busy month, especially for our 24/7 departments. By the time you throw in 2 holidays within a month, 1 holiday is bad enough for overtime and those kind of things. Throw in 2 holidays, we end up with a little more expense this time of year, because we're paid 24/7 and they get holiday pay, for even though they're still working. So our police and our fire both had some excess cost related to that, and again, we'll have that same thing in December. We have it every year. It's nothing unexpected, but if you're looking at budget versus actual numbers and you're saying, well, what? Russ, you always tell us those numbers are always under your percentages. They always are, except for these couple of times a year. If we were already on the border, we have those extra costs, and those pieces are going to be up. So nothing too exciting related to that. As far as the PMA goes, you know, our electric and our water are right in line with what we'd expect this year, especially coming into the winter months. You know, we see that decline in revenues starting to kick in. You know, we don't run the electric as much because we're not running our ACs. We don't water as much, although it has been extremely dry and there has been a little more watering than normal. We don't always see that this time of year. So we'll kind of make it through and manage the rest of these cold months until we get to February, March. Once we get through those two, utility revenues will start picking back up. The spring will be here in short order, and life will move on at that point. So nothing horrible right now. It's just I don't want. It's not the rosy picture that I was hoping. I really wanted to be able to tell you guys, hey, we're up more than what, you know, we didn't have as much leakage. We didn't have as much, you know, loss of dollar for dollar as what we had originally budgeted. But we were conservative, you know, that's what we always try to be. So we are still within our budget. Don't misunderstand anything I said. We're still within our budget. It's just we're right at our budget level right now instead of being ahead of the game like we usually are. So, do you guys have any questions related to finances?
Thank you, Russ. Appreciate it. Always like those glowing reports. Item 8, consider approval of the FY 2018 REAP contract with NODA for a $50,000 grant to be used for the WWTP sludge removal project. We have the applications. We were the top, and so we received the full $50,000 because we did have our matching fund. Any questions, comments? I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Thank you. Item 9, consider award of bid to Denali Water Solutions for the wastewater treatment plant project in an amount of $49,124, as is the lowest responsible bidder. They came in real low, you can see in the note.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Dixon.
Colern.
Yeah.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes, thank you. Item 10, consider award of bid to Denali Water Solutions for the water treatment plant in the amount of $168,994.02, as is the lowest responsible bidder. This is the work we have to do at the water treatment plant, and this is a really good bid. I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Dixie.
Colern.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Thank you, council. Item 11, consider approval of specifications to advertising for proposals for companies capable of developing, managing, and implementing a system-wide conversion to a fixed-based automated meter reading system. As you can see the acronym there. In order to read the city's residential, commercial, and industrial utility meters. Set bid date at January 30th, 2018. Set a mandatory pre-bid meeting for January 8th, 2018. This is for the new automated readers for water and electric.
If I may, Your Honor, we've had a number of meetings about this. Last week, we met with Brian Wheatley from our electrical supervisor, also Vernon Robbins, our water and sewer supervisor. Dixie's been involved. Ross has been involved. And we think that we have a good proposal to put out there. We tried to answer as many questions in-house as we possibly could so that we're all on the same page about this. And we feel that what you see in front of you is the best approach right now.
Question?
Motion to approve the request for proposals.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Dixon.
Goldar.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes, thank you. Item 12 has been deleted by the owner. They haven't been able to talk to their attorney yet, so they don't want this on the agenda this week.
It'll just be continued, it'll be on the next agenda.
I knew it was. Okay. Item 13. Consider approval of payment of an invoice in the amount of $15,320 to CEC Corporation for FFA grant administration, engineering plans and specifications, and construction administration and inspection services for the rehabilitate portion of the parallel taxiway project, Phase 2 at the Perry Airport. Any questions? Our city manager can answer them, I know.
It's a good-looking project. And this is what I referenced earlier, that we.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Thank you. Roll call, Dixie.
Goldar.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 14, consider approval of payment of an invoice in the amount of $71,658.84 to Evans and Associates for construction services to rehabilitate a portion of the parallel taxiway project, Phase 2, Perry Municipal Airport. Is this the final?
Couldn't swear to it.
Motion
Question?
to approve.
Motion to approve. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second. Thank you, Bill. Roll call, Dixie.
Goldar.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 15, consider approval of application for payment number 3 of Urban Contracting LLC in the amount of $222,696.69 for work performed on the citywide sanitary sewer Phase 2 capital improvement project.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
And second. Roll call, Dixie.
Goldar.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Item 16, consider approval of contract amendment, change order number 1 with Urban Contractors Incorporated in the amount of $114,165 to the Phase 2 sanitary sewer capital improvement project by the replacement of 1,110 lineal feet of existing sanitary sewer and 3 manholes at or near the east boundary line of lots 14 through 20, block 29, original town site, Perry. This is the sewer line in the alley, just west of the old Chevy dealership behind Foster's and that area. We talked about this earlier, that they inspected that line with a video and it showed break after break after break where they had attached probably a connection for every lot on both sides of the thing. And you can see that there are not that many buildings there, and those have failed and cracked the clay pipe. So we took it upon ourselves to video it, got the input of the sanitary department, and we decided to do a change order to the plans and get that thing replaced now, especially since we will be improving that alley at some point for drainage purposes. And this corrects it from Delaware all the way south, across Cedar and into the alleyway where a manhole exists.
This is next to the Heritage Center, south of the Heritage Center, correct?
No.
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 It's east of the Heritage Center. It goes right behind the back, between the Heritage Center and the railroad. It's in California.
Okay.
North to Vance, Old Vance building.
Okay.
And where are we proposing the money is coming, budget-wise?
That's from our, we have those funds from a bond issue, or
That's
actually,
what I-
yeah, it's from a bond
Bond
issue.
issue.
Yeah.
That's what I figured, I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure. Okay.
And really, it's fortuitous that we found this, actually, because had we had an event, it would have backed up considerably past Delaware and impacted some of our downtown businesses. So I think we got lucky here.
Your approval on this is contingent upon an easement we're trying to secure for the latter linear foot of this thing. I forgot how far it is, about 280 feet of it that we're having to get an easement for. So it's contingent on that easement being accepted. But I do need you to approve it contingent upon the easement.
Motion to approve contingent on the easement.
Thank you.
Second.
Roll call.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes, thank you. Item 17, consider approval of contract for sanitary sewer easement and lease of all or parts of lot 14 through 20, lot 29 of the original town site of Perry with Benjamin Fritz and
Okay, that's.
M. Suzanne Fritz, and make payment according to herewith. This is contingent upon that easement. These are the people we're purchasing the easement from and leasing the land for construction purposes. When you work as close that line will be to the railroad, you try and get the people adjacent to it to allow you to use their land. They are allowing us to use that for a fee, of course, but you cannot get on the railroad right away. You can't do it.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. Here's probably one of the more important items that we consider every year. Item 18, consider award of Hay Meadow bid and approval of agricultural lease agreement with Terry Leonard. You can see it's for an annual amount of $1,525 for our hay meadows.
This is at the airport, correct?
No.
No,
No.
this is out by the lake.
Out by the lake. Okay, thank you.
Is it track one? It says $35. Is that a? I think back here it said 4.
It's 350.
Is it 350?
Yes.
So it's supposed to be.
Good rear.
Track one, it says back here $435. So is it 435 or 350 or 35?
It's 435.
That's what I thought.
But we only had one bid. The 4 is missing.
That's what I thought. I
Yeah.
thought I didn't think it was 350. I think it was 435. So, all right.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the agricultural leases with Terry Leonard.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Dixie.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. And it does add up. Item 19, new business. Any new business need to be brought before the council this evening? Any new business? Seeing none, item 20. Consider convening into executive session for the purpose of discussing the purchase, appraisal of certain real property and buildings located at or near the downtown business district pursuant to 25 OS 307B3.
Motion to convene into executive session.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Coldiron.
Yes.
Gilbert. Yes. Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Why does all your women in your life treat you like that?
I don't know.
I know another one of them.
You know another one that's just as bad.
I think we're up.
And I know you pay her.
We're gonna reconvene.
Motion to reconvene.
Second.
Roll call, Dixie.
Colner.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
You just blew her mind, Jim.
Yeah, I was just trying to get the time. Sorry.
Sorry.
Colner.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Ahern.
Yes.
Seabolt. Yes. Stroller.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.